Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So first, could you briefly introduce yourself to the committee?
Well, my name is Kristýna. I'm 19 years old and I'm studying the forestry school here in Křivoklát.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a forestry student and, well, that's probably all that I can tell you about myself. Not really that interesting.
Okay, thank you. Now let's go to part 1. I'm going to ask you some questions about the topic jobs and occupations. If possible, give detailed answers. If you don't understand a question, please ask me to repeat it. Are you ready?
Hopefully.
So, what is your dream job? Why?
My dream job is something that has horses in it. I really love those animals, so I would really like to work with them in the future, but I don't really think that it will be possible because this kind of job isn't really that well paid in this state, so it will probably just be my dream job and my hobby, but nothing that will become a reality.
Okay, so when you finish school, are you going to start working full-time? Why not?
I doubt it. I think I will go to university because my parents would like to see me on the university, and they like to say that when I quit this school, I'm probably not going to have enough experience to get a full-time job in this kind of part of world.
Okay, so would you like to work as a writer? Why not?
Well, it surely would be fun, but I don't think I would really like the pressure of people that would read those things that I would write. And when I write, I really just need time to think what I'm going to write, and I need to be pleased with what I write, and I doubt that I would be able to write in the pace they would want me to.
Okay, thank you. Now let's go to part 2. Look at pictures 2A and 2B on the separate handout. So which picture would you like to talk about?
I would like to talk about the picture 2A. Probably the first thing that I would say is that the people at the picture are somewhere inside of a house. Probably it's the house of the man that is on the picture. It's probably a grandfather of those children, and they may be there on some kind of holiday or just a normal casual visit. They're probably sitting in a living room, I would say, because there's a sofa and a bookshelf, and they are just reading a book. The grandpa seems to be telling the children some new information. Maybe they're looking inside of an encyclopedia. I don't know, it's possible. I would say that the atmosphere there is actually pretty cozy. They seem to be happy and very chilled, and it's just like every other normal morning for them. I'd say that it's morning, maybe because the children seem to be wearing still their pajamas, and they don't have any socks or any kind of shoes on their feet. So
okay, so thank you. Now let's go to task 2. So have a look at both pictures once more. Now I would like you to compare them. Are you ready?
Yes. I'd probably start out with the fact that the picture 2A is inside of a building. On the other hand, the picture 2B is totally outside, probably somewhere in the mountains. And the people on the picture seem to be a family, so the only difference in the pictures is that the first picture shows a grandfather and his grandchildren, and the second picture seems to be showing parents and their children. The difference is also in the fact that in the first picture there are 2 children, in the second there are 3 children.
Okay, so thank you. Now let's go to task 3. Now tell me about your family, or about a family you would like to have.
Well, I will probably start with my family. I have 2 sisters, but they're more of like half sisters, because one has a different father and the other one has a different mother. The one that has a different father is called Nicole, and she lives in Australia right now in the moment. We grew up together, and with the other sister that has a different mother. Her name is Yolana, and I think I saw her maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, so I don't really know her that way much. When it comes to our extended family, I have never met my grandfathers, and one of my grandmothers died when I was in the 2nd year of this school, so I have only one last grandmother, and I don't really think that we see each other that way much. We hardly spend together time once a year, so that's really not much.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Now let's go to part 3. So in this task you are asked to speak on your own about Křivoklát using pictures 3A to 3D. So the following ideas may help you.
Okay, so when it comes to Křivoklát Castle, the first thing I would probably say is that it is one of the most visited and most famous castles in the Czech Republic. In older times, it was used for centuries as a hunting castle for Czech kings, and also as a prison, but now it's used more like popular destinations for Czech and foreign visitors. When it comes to location, I would say that it is quite nicely located, because it's quite close to Prague. It's located in a town called Křivoklát, which is in Rakovník district. It's about 30 kilometers northwest of Beroun, 50 kilometers west from Prague, and 3 kilometers southwest from our school. And the Křivoklát town itself has about 700 inhabitants, and except of this castle, you can find there a neo-Gothic church of St. Peter. You can find there a grocery shop, post office, or primary and nursery school. And most of the visitors will be probably arriving by train in the railway station, and they could use some restaurants and hotels that are also found in the town. When it comes to the history of the castle or the town itself, it was first mentioned in the Chronicle of Cosmo in the 12th century, and the castle itself was built in the 13th century by the Přemyslides dynasty. They really enjoyed to hunt, so they used it primarily as a hunting castle, but also the other Czech monarchs that lived there afterwards used it as a representative residence. The current look that the castle has, it got probably at the turn of 15th and 16th century, when Vladislav II Jagiellonian rebuilt it after some devastating fires that happened there. The castle then was used as a prison most of the time. For example, Charles IV was kept there when he was a child, and that may be actually the reason why he liked the Karlstein castle later on in his life. And the other people that were held there was also Jan Augusta, who was a bishop. And there was also an English alchemist named Edward Kelly, who was tortured there by Rudolf II. And he tortured him because he wanted to get his alleged secrets. And he tortured him for 3 years, but again, the alchemist actually managed to escape, even though he lost a leg in the process. That's kind of an interesting thing, I would say. Then in the 17th century, the castle lost its military significance, so it was sold to the Fürstenberg family, and they owned it until the year 1929, when the Czechoslovak state bought it back.
Okay, so thank you. Now let's go to part 4. So now we are going to talk together using the timetable below. I'm your host mother in an English family where you work as an au pair and look after 2 kids, John and Lucy. Lucy is 8 and John is 5. We should talk about your duties for tomorrow's program for the kids, and agree on what you are going to do. So I will start the conversation. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I will come home very, very late tomorrow. So do you know what to do with the kids, or do you need any help?
Well, I hope I know enough to take care of them. I was thinking that tomorrow we could wake up at 7:30.
Okay.
So they would prepare themselves for the preschool. They would eat their breakfast, dress up.
Yes, I need to leave at 6, so it would be great if you could prepare breakfast and...
Sure. So I will prepare them for the preschool, and we will probably leave at 8:30, so they get into this preschool and school at time.
Okay.
Since they will be in school, I can do something inside the house. I can clean up or something like that. Maybe read a book in the meantime, and then I will probably go pick up John, because the preschool ends sooner than the school. So I will pick him up and go back home, pick up the things that he will need for the swimming, and I will pick up the guitar for Lucy that she has in home, and probably go for Lucy to school, drop off John at the swimming, and then drop off Lucy at the guitar. And then I can just wait until the swimming of John ends and pick them up again and go home. And then probably leave them some free time, and Lucy should do her homework in the meantime. Somewhere I believe that she can actually decide that for herself, hopefully.
Okay, so that's perfect. So what have we agreed on? So tomorrow, morning duties?
We have agreed on the fact that I will wake up sooner than the kids, prepare their breakfast, and prepare everything that they need. I will wake them up at 7:30. They will eat, prepare themselves for the school and preschool, and we will leave at 8:30, so they are there in time. I will pick them up then from preschool and school, and drop them off at swimming and guitar later.
Okay, so thank you very much. That's the end of the examination.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was great.